Coming up on KPBS Evening Edition, political spending is expected to hit record levels this election season. Tonight, we follow the money. San Diego Mayor Jerry Sanders presents his budget to the City Council. He says it's balanced, but some community activists say they want a seat at the budget table. And as Southern California Edison works to sort out problems at the San Onofre nuclear power plant, activists are calling for it to be shut down for good. KPBS Evening Edition starts now. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dwayne Brown. Joanne Farian is on vacation. San Diego Mayor Jerry Sanders officially presented his final budget to the City Council today. He says it's the first truly balanced budget San Diego has had in years.
Unlike years past, you won't find any service cuts in this year's budget. In fact, this budget includes funding for more library hours, more rec center hours, and more police officers.
Sanders is projecting a budget surplus of $120 million over the next 5 years. Some community groups say they want more transparency in the budget process. They formed a group called the Community Budget Alliance. They say they want community members to have input as the budget is created.
Community members are in the best position to know the needs of their own communities.
The activists say the people need a voice in the budget process to make sure money is spent fairly and benefits communities. The Navy plans to make San Diego home for 2 more aircraft carriers and 10 more surface ships in the next 5 years. The Pentagon is working on shifting its focus toward Asia and the Pacific. The plan would add 8,100 sailors and 6,700 family members to the county. The Navy spends more than $30 billion a year in San Diego. An Escondido man once accused of killing his sister will have to wait another week before he can formally ask to clear his name. Michael Crow was 14 when he was arrested and charged in the stabbing death of his younger sister, Stephanie, in 1998. A judge ruled he had been coerced into confessing. DNA evidence later connected the killing to Richard Tewitt, a transient who was convicted of voluntary manslaughter. That conviction was overturned based on a trial error, and the case is still being reviewed. Crow is now 28, and today he was supposed to ask for a formal pronouncement of innocence. That hearing has been pushed back until late next week. A bill to suspend or expel California students who are online bullies passed the State Assembly today. It would allow schools to punish students who use social networking sites to harass their classmates. The bill passed unanimously and now moves to the State Senate. Faculty and staff at California State Universities are voting whether to go on strike. Union leaders say there hasn't been enough progress in contract negotiations. They're proposing a series of 2-day strikes across the state. They say the CSU system is trying to move more courses into for-profit extension programs while paying instructors less to teach them. Other issues include a salary freeze and class sizes. The CSU has been hit hard by state budget cuts. The strike vote will continue through the end of next week. This year is expected to be a record breaker in political spending across San Diego. In a new series, our partner Investigative News Source is looking at the ins and outs of campaign financing in San Diego. Reporter Ryan Grohowski has been following the money. She joins us from the News Center. Ryan, we've seen candidates in the San Diego mayor's race donating big sums to their campaigns, even lending themselves money. What's the difference here?
Well, when a candidate loans himself money, he's expecting to raise enough to pay himself back. When he donates, and that's money he doesn't expect to see again. Also, candidates running for office in San Diego can only lend themselves $100,000 at a time, and there's no limit on how much a candidate can donate to himself.
So why do candidates give themselves money?
Well, there could be a number of reasons. The candidate could simply need the money, but political analysts also say it's a matter of perception. If it looks like you have a lot of cash, then you'll raise more.
And who's doing this in San Diego right now?
Carl DeMaio, who's running for mayor, has lent and donated quite a bit to himself. He's given his campaign more than $390,000 in donations, and he's lent himself around $100,000, but has paid about half of that back already. DeMaio's competitors have pitched into their campaigns too, just on a smaller scale. Bonnie Dumanis has lent her campaign $10,000, and Nathan Fletcher has donated to himself $500. Congressman Bob Filner hasn't donated or lent any money to his campaign. You know, I mentioned perception a couple minutes ago. In raw numbers, Carl DeMaio has raised the most money in the mayor's race, but if you take away what he's given to himself, Nathan Fletcher is actually on top.
And of course, this is part one of your report. Tell us what's ahead in part two.
Tomorrow, we're going to take a look at the city's rules regarding political donors.
Investigative News Source reporter Ryan Grohowski. Anti-nuclear activists are calling for the permanent shutdown of the San Onofre nuclear power plant in San Diego's North County. Unit 3 was shut down in late January after leaks were detected in tubes carrying radioactive water through the steam generator. And last week we learned tubes in Unit 2 are also showing signs of wear. That reactor was already shut down for routine maintenance. The plant's operator, Southern California Edison, and federal regulators say it will remain offline until the problem is determined and fixed. Joining me to discuss the issue is Ace Hoffman, a longtime activist who's been following the nuclear issue for more than 40 years. Well, Ace, tell me, you live in Carlsbad. How close is your home to the plant?
It's an apartment about 15 miles south of the plant, so pretty much downwind.
Okay. And so what's your biggest fear?
A meltdown, a spent fuel fire, sabotage, tsunami, earthquake, man-made error, human mistakes, engineering mistakes. I'm not sure which one is biggest.
So the environmental group, Friends of the Earth, had a very critical report on San Onofre. They claim changes made to the steam generators is causing stress on the tubes. What's your take, considering you've been looking at this issue as it relates to nuclear for a good 40 years?
The original steam generators leaked before they should have. And so they decided that they would have to replace them. When they started the replacement process, San Onofre made the decision to enhance or improve the design of them. And yet they called it a like-for-like replacement so that the Nuclear Regulatory Commission wouldn't pay a lot of attention to what they did that was different. And what they did that was different was they added about 400 tubes inside of each steam generator, which has about 9,500 tubes in it. And they took out a support beam in the center, and they changed the alloy that the tubes are made out of. They actually made quite a few changes, and then called it a like-for-like replacement so that it wouldn't be inspected very carefully, and it wasn't. And they put it in, and it didn't work.
So the changes were not
like-for-like at all.
And of course, the public has been warned to expect rolling blackouts, or brownouts as they're also known, this summer if the plant remains offline. Isn't that an indication it should remain operational?
I think it's an indication it should remain offline. For one thing, anytime anything goes wrong at San Onofre, it shuts down. It has no choice. There's no way you can get into the containment building and fix something while it's running, so you have to shut it down to do any kind of major repair. And also, anytime something else goes wrong, like when we had the blackouts, the blackouts in September, San Onofre had to go down because it lost off-site power. So it's not really a very reliable energy system. We don't really want to call it baseline anymore.
So you're looking at you want a permanent shutdown?
We want a permanent, better solution. Yeah, there's much cleaner energy solutions out there now, and they're just waiting to be implemented, especially here in California, where for the last couple of months we've been putting our effort into repairing San Onofre when we could have been replacing it with solar, wind, geothermal.
Give me a quick idea of how much power San Diego receives from San Onofre.
It's about 19% of our energy here in Southern California, in the immediate area. But it should be well understood that the state of California thought that Californians could reduce their energy usage by 20%. A couple of years ago, they asked us all to do that. So why don't they just ask us again? We didn't really do a very good job of reducing it by 20% back then, and we've got a lot more iPods and iPads nowadays. I think there's 20% of our energy that we could simply do away with to prevent us from leaving San Onofre.
And we're running out of time, but let me ask you this question. Last week, the NRC, the federal regulators, were in town visiting the plant. You were there. What was your take on that?
Their first interest was, could they possibly separate Unit 2 from Unit 3's problems and maybe let San Onofre open Unit 2? We told them, we don't think that's a good idea. You've barely even inspected Unit 2. Get them in there and inspect it. Well, they got in there and they inspected it, so maybe we had some influence. They found problems with Unit 2, and now they can't open either reactor. So our basic feeling of YASCO coming out was that it was a good thing, and that we were able to influence their decision to keep that plant shut until it's absolutely safe to open. Now, I don't know if we'll get that far, because there is no absolutely safe, but they're keeping it shut right now.
And you guys planning on doing some more protesting?
Absolutely. On April 29th, the anniversary of Chernobyl, a few days after the anniversary, we're going to do another protest up there. We're hoping for thousands of people, and we had hundreds last time. And then if that's not enough, before the plant opens, we're going to keep protesting. We'll be out at the site constantly.
Ace Hoffman, thanks.
Thank you very much.
And a footnote to that interview, a proposal to let voters decide the fate of California's nuclear power plants has failed. Supporters say they couldn't collect enough signatures to get it on the November ballot, but they say court action could get the matter before voters. The measure would have shut down the San Onofre and Diablo Canyon nuclear power plants. There are strict regulations for teenage drivers, but car crashes remain the leading cause of death for teens. In a moment, a look at what the Highway Patrol is doing about it. And for every car on the road, San Diego will eventually need 4 to 6 parking spaces. By 2030, researchers say the county will need an additional 37 square miles of parking space to accommodate all those cars. We'll take a closer look at the county's parking woes coming up. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
Tonight on KPBS at 8, Antiques Roadshow comes to you from the Georgia Aquarium with 19th century aquatic, amphibious, and reptilian-themed plates and vases known as Palissyware. Then at 9, it's where a royal prince challenged the right of an English king to sit on the throne. Holyrood on Queen's Palaces. And at 10, from Providence, Rhode Island and the Rose Island Lighthouse, a look at naval collectibles on Antiques Roadshow. That's all tonight on KPBS.
I'm Margaret Warner. On the next news hour, the World Bank picks a new leader, plus this year's winners of the Pulitzer Prize. That's Monday on the PBS NewsHour.
In the last year, KPBS News has been honored with nearly 36 awards. I'm extremely proud of these honors, and I thank you for your support as we continue to serve our local communities with award-winning news coverage in the years to come.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Erwin Jacobs and by
Despite a sharp decline in teens getting their driver's license nationwide, car accidents are still the leading cause of death for 16 to 19-year-olds. 2 San Diego teenagers are facing charges after a fatal crash on Highway 52 earlier this month. Police say the 16-year-old driver lost control, hit the median, and rolled over multiple times. 2 passengers were thrown from the car and died. Now the 16-year-old driver and an 18-year-old driving another car face vehicular manslaughter. Investigators say the cars were racing at 100 miles an hour before the crash. Joining us to talk about this is Officer Brian Pennings with the California Highway Patrol. Officer Pennings, thank you, first of all, for taking some time out. I know this is very important, getting this message out. What kind of toll does an accident like this take on, officers, family, friends, who know the victims?
Well, first of all, there's no such thing as an accident. It's a crash. It's a traffic collision because somebody messed up and caused it to happen. And as an investigator, you quickly realize that. You quickly learn that. But imagine you and I are as partners. Imagine we go to a horrific scene and we deal with the physical evidence, and oftentimes that involves human bodies. And we put the pieces of the puzzle together, we document everything, and we put the puzzles together and find out exactly what happened. Okay? That's the easy part. What comes next is the hard part, and that's when we have to deal with the notifications to the family. We have to deal with the mourning and the loss of life and the emotions. And it's especially tragic when it involves a young person, because parents aren't supposed to bury their teens. But let's now take it further. Let's say you and I are out on patrol now, and we see somebody going down the road doing exactly what caused that scene that I just described to you. We're not going to much care what the excuse is. We're going to take the enforcement action because we know what happens to people who do what we just saw them do.
Yeah, and we know the proliferation of cell phones and distracted driving has just kind of been raised not only among teens but adults. But what kinds of restrictions are there in place for teenage drivers that apparently or maybe not aren't being adhered to?
Well, we have three provisions, okay? First and foremost, they cannot talk or text on their phone at all, okay, in any way, shape, or form. Studies have shown that, first of all, your first 12 months of driving are statistically your most dangerous time in your life. You're more likely to die that single year than any other single year in your life.
Your first year?
Your first 12 months. And half of all teenagers will crash in some way, shape, or form, some more major than others, within those first 12 months. So you have 50% chance of crashing those 12 months. So it's an extremely dangerous time. So we have three provisions. The first and foremost, they cannot talk or text. Studies have shown that 90% of those crashes involving our teens involve some kind of inattention, whether it be eating or drinking, or whether it be talking with passengers, or changing a CD in a stereo, or talking on their cell phone. But 90% of those 90% is their cell phone.
And the time and as well, passengers, right? Those are the other
Correct. There's
provisions?
two more. They cannot drive between the hours of 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. And the reason why is you have 13% of all teen fatalities happen during that time. And then the last one is no passengers in their vehicle under the age of 20. And the reason for that is 65% of all teen passenger deaths occur when another teenager is driving. So let's take, for instance, Johns Hopkins School for Public Health did this amazing study, and I use this all the time. If you're 16 years old and you have one passenger in your car, you're 39% more likely to be killed in driving alone. Two passengers, you jump up to 86%. If you have three passengers in your car, 182% more likely to be killed if you're driving alone. And what parents need to realize is 17-year-olds, according to this study, are even worse. If you're 17 years old and you have three passengers, you're 207% more likely to be killed than if you're driving alone.
We have about 30 seconds here. We know that this accident on Highway 52 may have been involving drag racing. What is the CHP or law enforcement doing in that regard to tamp down those incidents?
Well, first of all, we're very vigorous in our education with our young people, with our Start Smart programs and our enforcement, or in our education. We are also, if we have or know of a situation where certain locations are primed for this types of events, we will do saturation enforcement, and we will deal with it on those two levels.
Officer Brian Jennings, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
San Diego City Council will soon consider a proposal to reduce the number of parking spaces required for each new unit of affordable housing. It's a move to cut costs and prevent parking lots from taking over the city. KPBS reporter Tom Fudge says the challenge is finding a place to put all the cars we love to drive.
It's something most of us do every single day. We jump in a car, drive someplace, and then we need to find a parking space.
You got to get here an hour early to at least hope someone's backing out.
We went around the entire campus trying to find a spot. It took about a half an hour.
I park illegally until I can find a parking space, someone leaves.
It's hard to find a civic concern more universal than the need to park a car. To understand our true demand for parking spaces, transportation specialist Dallin Hoffman says take your car and start to multiply it.
Every car generates a demand for anywhere between 4 and 6 parking spaces.
That's what you get when you add up all the parking spaces that are waiting for you at home, at work, at the shopping mall, the grocery store, and so on. In 2010, there were about 3.1 million people living in San Diego County who owned an estimated 2.1 million cars. Now imagine 1 million more people living in San Diego County by 2030, as demographers predict. That's 685,000 more cars based on car ownership rates. Hoffman says that will require 37 square miles of additional parking spaces.
I'll give you your choice of how you want your 37 square miles. We can either pave over all of San Diego Bay, all of Mission Bay, all of the city of La Mesa, and then build a 2-story parking deck over all of Balboa Park.
Or we could, let's not go there. In fact, we don't have to go anywhere to imagine what parking demands do to a city. There's no better example of how parking affects the landscape than the parking lot of Qualcomm Stadium. There are 19,000 parking spaces here, and the vast majority of the time they're not even used. So how do we stop the paving of San Diego? Elise Lowe is the director of Move San Diego. She says there are problems with parking policy, and she starts with the example of this downtown parking garage, which enjoys a public subsidy.
And what's important to know about it is that it actually costs less to park here for a month than it costs to buy a monthly transit pass.
Her point? The parking subsidy discourages transit use in a place where a trolley station is just 1 block away. Transit is not practical for all destinations, but Lowe says people should at least pay the real cost of parking.
This isn't about forcing people into transit. This is about actually creating choices for people and making transit an attractive choice by reflecting the true cost of parking and driving is really where we need to go.
Another approach is to do something with all that spare pavement we already have in San Diego. San Diego has a lot of very wide residential streets, up to 52 feet from curb to curb. Hoffman says that's wide enough to redesign parking like they did on Kansas Street in North Park to create head-in parking and increase the number of parking spaces by 35%.
So by just going onto head-in parking on these extremely wide streets that are very typical in a lot of San Diego, we're able to pick up dozens or even hundreds of parking spaces, all for the price of some paint.
Most large parking lots are empty at least 50% of the time. Making better use of that space can, for one thing, make our cities more attractive and vital. Here in North Park, this empty parking lot is converted to a farmer's market once a week. Gary Smith is a member of the Downtown Parking Management Group. He says we should use those periodically empty lots to park more cars that belong to people who keep different schedules. Here he speaks of downtown residential buildings.
For instance, I could build another 3 or 4 high-rise buildings around this commercial building and satisfy the parking requirements for those buildings in the catacomb that's underneath that commercial building, because they only use those for the daylight hours.
About 50 years ago, a writer and intellectual named Louis Mumford wrote, "The right to have access to every building in the city by private motor car in an age when everyone possesses such a vehicle is the right to destroy the city." Mumford might think San Diego has gone down that path, where people move from one place to another, sealed in their cars, navigating an ocean of asphalt. But optimists like Smith say we don't have to keep paving the city. We can make better use of what we've got.
In 2006, in conjunction with Sandag, we did a study, and we found at that time, which was only a few years ago, there were 10 parking spaces in the city of San Diego for every car that was registered in the city of San Diego. Okay? It's not a shortage of parking. It's a matter of having the parking where people want to go and having the parking work correctly.
Tom Fudge reporting. An action to reduce the number of parking spaces required for new affordable housing units goes before the San Diego Planning Commission next month. The City Council is expected to take it up in June. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
Tuesday nights at 10, only on KPBS.
I love KPBS because when I wake up in the morning and that radio station goes on, 89.5 goes on, I know that I am going to get information that I can trust, that I can respect, that I can value, and I know I'm getting the truth.
Coming soon on Need to Know.
Hey, he's not resisting. Why are you guys using excessive force on him?
I heard Anastasia screaming and asking for help.
I think I witnessed
someone being murdered.
Watch a special episode of Need to Know Friday at 8:30 only on KPBS.
Welcome back to the Public Square on KPBS Evening Edition. That giant public display of affection in Tuna Harbor is getting a lot of reaction on our website. Last week we told you backers of the unconditional surrender statue have raised $600,000, most of the money needed to put a permanent bronze version on display. In response to the news, we got this comment from Peking Duck SD. I really think I'm going to explore job opportunities in more progressive cities. Art is a big deal to me, probably more than to most people, but it's really important to me. It's not just this one poor choice, but it's more what this poor choice stands for: mediocrity. De La Rick says the statue is too big and in the wrong place. It makes the Muffler Man statues look like something by Rodin. The famous kissing statue gets some unconditional love from Jean Mark, who writes, $1,000 of that $600,000 is mine. Newsflash, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. All those comments were made on kpbs.org. You can add your voice by following us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, or send us an email. We've got some big events coming up later this week on KPBS. On Thursday evening, San Diego's mayoral candidates will be here for a debate on the key issues facing San Diego. That begins at 6 in place of BBC World News and KPBS Evening Edition. Then on Friday night, join us for a KPBS exclusive, a one-on-one interview with the Dalai Lama. That's on KPBS Evening Edition, Friday at 6:30. Recapping tonight's top stories, San Diego Mayor Jerry Sanders officially presented his final budget to City Council today. They will now begin holding public hearings on the spending plan, but some community activists say they want the public to be involved even before the mayor starts drafting the budget. And the Navy is making plans to bring more ships to San Diego. The plan calls for 2 more aircraft carriers and 10 more surface ships to be home ported here. San Diego is already home to 58 surface ships and a half dozen submarines. And thousands of California State University employees are voting whether to stage rolling strikes. Union leaders say there's been no progress in contract talks, although CSU officials say the talks are continuing. The issue includes salaries, class sizes, and tenure for temporary faculty members. You can watch and comment on any of the stories you saw tonight on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. You have a great night. We leave you with a look at the forecast.